Okay, welcome back to Political Soul Food. It's Thursday, April 18th, 2019. Thursdays, Black Shoutouts. Yay. We're on, and if you saw the update, you know I'm going to mention Beyonce and Michelle Obama. For sure. We're going to do this here live on Instagram and on Facebook. So let's do this, y'all. Let's do this. And we got YouTube in the house as well. So, all right, let me keep it real. The reason why I want to talk about this topic was because of the response to Michelle Obama's comment in London about Trump and divorced dads. Okay? And that's kind of like really what sparked my attention. And also, yes, equally important and motivating for this topic was Beyonce's comments on Michelle Obama. She shouted out Michelle Obama. And so I wanted to bring all of this together. There's a lot of food for thought. Okay, so first things first, let's just talk about Beyonce. Beyonce is a fabulous, brilliant performer, musician, singer. And I find myself often having to, I wouldn't say defend, but speak out to those who try to front on her. I mean, homegirl got super duper skills on the stage. And not only that, not just her body, her defiance of the norms. Now, while she sings in a particular genre of R&B, hip hop, she goes beyond those territories. And if you know anything about music, you will hear her travel the cultural centers of Indian music, African music, Latin American music, Caribbean music, classical music, and even within black music, you will hear her pull from not just R&B of the 90s or 2000s, but she'll pull from that classic R&B. She'll pull from disco. She's pulled from rock and roll, jazz, blues. Ain't no stopping her. There's no stopping her. And the complexity of her music as a whole, right? So her pieces, you won't find them just pouring every single, kind of musical feature in one piece. No. Okay? She's a masterful composer, and she knows who she's performing for or why she's performing a particular song. And she tries to stay true. Well, she does more than try. She executes it perfectly. She stays true to the purpose of a particular project. But listening to all of her material as a whole, you will see the enormity of her musical creativity. So that's one thing. So I have to give Beyonce her props on that. Recently, however, many have seen her take the political stage. And you remember the Project Lemonade. But there are other songs there are other projects where you can find Beyonce cutting through our slumber, okay, waking us up. Now, you won't see her as being someone, let's say, like, who's my boy? What's KRS-One, right? Who's a little bit more explicit. KRS-One is definitely a little bit more explicit in terms of his confrontation with racism and white supremacy. All right, you have that, and you have certain artists who work within the system in their ways. But Beyonce definitely gets props not only for speaking out in her songs in the way that she does, but also, she gives money to causes. She gives money and she provides opportunities for others who don't have the same opportunity as she does. And this is big. This is absolutely huge. So, I had to call her out, give her a shout out for that. And I love the fact that she can acknowledge another sister, right? It's not, one of the things I like about her is you don't really hear her involved with so much beef or conflict with other artists. You don't get that. Or with other people in general. She's had a very, and still has a very professional career. Very professional career. And, you know, I'm very impressed by her. But the props that she gave to Michelle Obama was on point. And so we're going to turn over to Michelle Obama. All right. And she published a piece in support of Michelle Obama for being one of Time's 100 most influential people. All right. And so I want to pull up her note to Michelle Obama. And it's really short here, and I can probably read all of this. I don't know. We'll see. Let me just make sure YouTube here is okay. Looks like there's a little lag here. Let's bring that up here. We might have some issues here, but I think all the other streams are going strong here. So let's see. All right. That's funny here, but I think everybody else is cool, right? Y'all hear me all right? Let's see here. All right. Okay, I think we're back in business here now. Good. We're definitely back in business. All right. So we have a piece here from Beyonce to Michelle Obama, or about Michelle Obama. And basically what it says is, she says, loving Michelle Obama wasn't much of a choice. It was something that came naturally because of how she carried herself, because she resembled us and was moving in spaces where, as Black Americans, we weren't exactly meant to be. She seemed so powerful. That's real. That's real talk, because she understands that Black people were not meant to be in the White House. And a lot of people still to this day are losing their mind over that. She continues, when I first met her, I was embraced by a warm, regal, confident woman who possessed a reassuring calm on the eve of President Obama's historic first inauguration. The way she looked, walked, and spoke in that warm but authoritative tone, we saw our mothers and sisters. She was strong and ambitious and spoke her mind without sacrificing honesty or empathy. That takes a lot of courage and discipline. She would have been impactful simply by being in the White House, the first African American First Lady. But she also used her position of power to improve the world around her. Her initiative reached higher. For example, encourages young people to complete their education past high school. She empowers all of us to interrogate our fears and surpass greatness. That's dope. A lot of people don't know Michelle Obama, she was on the ground trying to make moves for the community in every respect, for our brothers and our sisters. She was really doing it up. Let me continue here. I'm honored to know such a brilliant Black woman who's spoken about the sacrifice it takes to balance her passions while remaining a supportive partner and mother, and now a best-selling author with Becoming. Right up there. That's it. She has continued to open herself up, even if it meant being criticized. She has continued to be a portrait of grace. And we're going to talk about her being criticized tonight. I am so grateful that my daughters and my son live in a world where Michelle Obama shines as a beacon of hope who inspires all of us to do better and to be better. That's dope. Beyonce wrote an amazing piece. That is 100% dope. And I mean, it's hard to even add on to this. I mean, that's the shout out of the night right there. Beyonce's shout out to Michelle Obama is the shout out of the night. And just reading that, I hope that can bring to your mind the magnitude of Michelle Obama's existence. Okay, and we can dig in a little deeper. I mean, not just being the first African American First Lady. I mean, the woman was already successful with her law degree, and as a heroic mom, caring mom, and supporter of family, and as a role model of moral integrity, and also for racial and economic justice. This is the kind of person we're talking about. But you know, people are coming after her in the most vile and evil ways, calling her out her name, even trying to diss her, you know, call her a man. And it's like the blatant racist, sexist disrespect for this woman in America makes the case that Michelle Obama needs, I wouldn't say needs, but deserves the shout out by all of us. By all of us. She's a role model for citizens, not just for moms and sisters. Okay, definitely for our young ladies, I get that. But she's an all-out role model for American citizens. And, you know, I got her book here, and I got started a little bit, but I haven't finished it. In fact, my dissertation is on her husband. So I've been reading a lot of books dealing with Barack Obama, but this book promises to add a lot of information that could be helpful for my project. But I recommend you get the book. It's a bestseller book, and it's doing its thing. I want early out to be able to see it. It's got it on all 3 cameras. Good. This is a book you all should get. And so what I want to do right now in shouting Michelle Obama out. And I guess before I do that, so I was in a quick debate, a little short back and forth earlier today on Instagram. Sometimes, I guess I call it trolling. Yeah, sometimes I'll be trolling. And so I went on one of those, Trump supporting pages. And so I'll be honest, it was crazy. I know I shouldn't be doing these things. So I jumped on a page that was basically trying to say that Michelle Obama was trying to diss men. And remember that, so she said a joke. I don't know if you heard it. And she was basically talking about America and talking about Trump and saying that, America is sort of like a broken family. And, we're with our divorced dad. And, and so basically, let me pull it up. In fact, I was going to let you hear some of this for yourself because it's all over the media if you heard it already, so you'll be up to date. So let me pull this out right here for us to hear. And then we'll piggyback off this. I got a couple news clips lined up for us. And so let's take this one right here.
It was a rare rebuke, breaking precedent. Former First Lady Michelle Obama taking aim at the current president.
It's tough, sometimes you spend weekends with divorced dad and that feels like it's fun, but then you get sick. That's what America's going through. We're kind of living with divorced dad right now.
Mrs. Obama speaking Sunday in London.
Okay, so a lot of people took that to mean, they took that as evidence that Michelle Obama's dissing divorced dads, right? And so she's clearly talking about Trump, and she's clearly talking about a particular kind of scenario among families that have separated or parents that have separated and have kids. And also talking about how kids, respond to or treat or think about their different parents, the mom or the dad. And so let me pull up another one too here. Check this one out. This one, you can hear some criticism, but let's see. Let's put up one more. 'Cause I guess you should hear the first part too. Let's see if we can get more of it. Okay. So I'm at this site here, Adam blog. So hopefully they get to it. Let me see something. So they don't say it, they actually write it all out. So let me read what it says. We come from a broken family. We are a little unsettled. Sometimes you spend the weekend with a divorced dad. That feels like fun, but then you get sick. This is what America is going through. We are living with divorced dad, right? And so she's not saying divorced dads are lower than other people, like some people try to claim on Instagram. She's not saying all divorced dads are horrible. I mean, you could make the case that associating divorced dads with Trump is an insult. All right, I can get that one. If people were truly, truly real about, the logic of this, or the implications of her comments, then that'd be fair enough. But the notion that she's trying to diss men is ridiculous. Okay, or diss divorced dads. In a sense, she's reminding us that people thought that the grass would be greener. You're moving from one politician to the next politician. You thought that this Trump is going to make everything great again, and it turns out that is not really true. I mean, if there's any issue we could take up with what Michelle Obama is saying, and I mean, she's dissing Trump in a very nice way, right? I mean, notice how she's speaking of America as a family, right? So there's a lot of positive, characterizations in her joke or analogy, and so I mean, the deal is, people are going to find whatever they're looking for. And so just to throw some shade or to diss her, people are going to say, yeah, Michelle Obama is talking about dads and men. And this is what I've been seeing on Instagram. So I've been going back and forth. And I was saying, well, no. People are taking this short clip without a fuller context or appreciating the bigger picture she's framing. All right. And so, all politicians, everybody, you don't even have to be a politician. Everybody slipped, right? So it's not a case where, she made a slip and then, people like, aha, we got you. I think it's really the people who just hate her, looking for every opportunity to see her drop the ball rhetorically in any way, all right? And people are very disrespectful. And as they write comments to me, they will use the pronoun he. So yeah, it's just really bad. So I give her a shout out for this. So, I mean, she's really deep. She's really, really, really deep. And she's really nice. I mean, remember, she's the one that reminds us to go high when they go low. But a lot of people think that means we don't clap back, to borrow from Ja Rule. It's not, she's not saying turn the other cheek. She's basically saying, we're not going to respond with fascism, and we're not going to respond to racism with racism. We're going to respond with more education, with more critical thinking, and with more civic action. That's what her call is for. And so what I want to do now is, let me end off with some of her quotes, some of her popular quotes, to give you a sense of who this amazing lady Michelle Obama is. All right. And man, if I was so lucky as Beyonce to just have, a few minutes to talk with her, it would be amazing. But we do have her memoir, and her life is just broadcasted all over news. So you can pretty much find out more for yourself. So I had opened up a page here just to see what's going on with Beyonce. And I wanted to share some stuff because you know what, I do these shout outs every Thursday, and it's important for all of us. I don't care if you're black, white, whoever, to preserve and to honor our legacy. Okay. You have a lot of people of color who are paving a way for all of us, who are out there on the fields doing what they can do. And many go unnoticed. And even those in the industry, so I'm shouting out people that are kind of known. But if you think about it, a lot of people that I shout out a lot of people don't give them credit for helping and giving back to the community in the way that they think they should. And so for the first few days I was doing this, first weeks I was doing this, I was calling out different hip hop artists and R&B singers and actors and actresses and other people, you know, and showing what they've been doing for the community. And if we don't do that, first of all, if we don't know if somebody's working on our behalf or trying to give back, shame on us. How are you going to build? Okay, it's, you know, it's like people say, oh, we need more black businesses. You got to support black businesses. And if there's one right in your backyard you don't know, shame on you. So we always have to do our homework in this, and we always have to protect the work of those who are trying to do something beyond themselves, but for our community. And so Michelle Obama, who basically put herself out there, right? Not just for her own personal success and gratification, but for a cause, obviously for our sisters, for our young brothers, for all of us. And it's important that we shout her out and have her back, just the same way she had our back. So Michelle Obama, awesome. Let's, you know, pull up some of her quotes here. I think that, you know, it's what I'm going to start doing too, as I did on yesterday's show, is, you know, pulling out the words of those who came before us who really experienced this scenario in a way that, you know, experienced life in a way that we would never experience. And, you know, they've been through Jim Crow and all that stuff. And so I'm going to start pulling these words out for us. So let's go to Michelle Obama. Let's see what's good here. When they go low, we go high. As I mentioned, I said that one first. This is not meant to say you turn the other cheek, like I said already, right? People think that means, you know, coward. The same way people come after Martin Luther King's nonviolence movement as if he's saying be punks. No, it was a strategy for a particular context. We got a comment here. Oh, what's up, Asia? What's happening? We are too lazy to do our homework. We would rather go to a store that we know instead of finding a black-owned business. And that's true, unfortunately, for many people, right? And there's some out here trying to do the right thing, but there are a lot of us who don't do that homework, you know. And that's a perfect. I'm glad you mentioned that, because that is true. That's what happens. In fact, you know, I should say, you know, same thing with Obama. You know, a lot of people say, oh, Obama didn't do nothing. And it's like, you didn't do your homework. You didn't do your homework. And if you understand anything about news, I mean, you know, like they try to tell me, well, first of all, certain achievements by certain people are not going to be mentioned in certain, you know, on certain platforms. All right. So we got to do that homework. We got to do our homework. Oh, Asia said, hope you read her book. It was amazing. It's right here. I pulled it out. I started on it. I didn't finish it. As I mentioned, Asia, I'm doing some research on Barack Obama. So I'm like reading like dozens and dozens of books on her husband and his political and educational careers. But I went in, yes, everybody should get this book. Everybody should get this book. And as we can see already, Asia here is dropping already that it was good. So check it out. So let's find another quote. Here's another quote from her. She says, through my education, I didn't just develop skills. I didn't just develop the ability to learn, but I developed confidence. You know, seeing a woman like her and promote education is really important. It is really important because, unfortunately, education for too many, not everybody, not all of our youth, just looks like some boring, whack thing, like whatever, just going to school. Now, it's tough. You know, getting an education in our society is expensive. If you have a family, it's a sacrifice because you're trying to balance everything. But it's a worthy investment. It's a worthy personal investment, and also it's an investment in our community, because when each one of us fulfill our potential one way or another, we can contribute and we can help build and add a brick to the edifice, right? And that education doesn't always have to take the form of a building, right, and getting a degree. However, getting degrees and being in a formal learning institution can be very beneficial, particularly, for certain kinds of disciplines. And we need not just entertainers, we need doctors. We also need lawyers. We need teachers. Okay. We need entrepreneurs. So maybe somebody in the stock market. We need people in all of the different spaces of a community. And this is what education helps us with. Asia said, yes, please do. You will feel inspired. Reading her book pulls you into her world, and you will feel what she felt in every event she went through. Wow. What I might do is just have like a podcast dedicated to the book. How about that, Asia? Are you down for that? Like, I'll catch up to you and then like put out a notification to everybody, and we can discuss that here. I think that'll be dope. So let me pull up another one. I like this one. When girls are educated, their countries become stronger and more prosperous. And that's deep. What's deep about that is Malcolm X says something very similar to that. And so we can see the reiteration of certain pieces of wisdom. Okay? And, unfortunately, there are a lot of brothers who be fronting on the sisters, like, and I'm talking about brothers. Yeah, black women, they just come in and, rising on top and being more influential in our community. I'm like, that's a problem? Like, you're going to hold them back? Like a woman doing her thing does not rob you of your manhood. Like, for real. So yeah, so let's see here. Here's a nice one, encouraging one. If your family doesn't have much money, I want you to remember that in this country, plenty of folks, including me and my husband, we started out with very little. But with a lot of hard work and a good education, anything is possible, even becoming president. That's what the American dream is all about. And this is real. What I like about this one is, like she's reminding us that the road is not going to be easy. And for many people, for the majority of us, we might not have the financial resources that we would like to have. But we're not alone. And that there are pathways to get where we want to go. It may take a little while. You may end up sweating a lot, but you can get there. And you can claim that American dream. And obviously, that whole idea is controversial because the American dream is really out of reach for a lot of people. But it's something that we should always have in our view, as they say, the eyes on the prize. And it's not just the American dream in terms of being, seen, being on stage, blinged out, In fact, she has a comment for that in terms of success. Okay, she's not talking about this. She says success isn't about how much money you make. It's about the difference you make in people's lives. So you doing you allows you to help others and change people's lives, right? Going beyond the change in your own life, which was the beginning and initial purpose, right? And that could be changing somebody's life in your family, your child, your cousin, your mom, your aunt, whoever, or somebody you don't even know. Sometimes you end up helping people you don't know more than your family members, right? So, she's really trying to motivate us, and I like that. She wants us to occupy our purpose, and that's her message. So for all that nonsense that people have been talking lately about what she said about divorce dads, that's minor distractions. That's noise. This woman here has a lot to share, has shared a lot, and she's still on her post sharing. So shout out to First Lady Michelle Obama, and shout out to Beyonce, who gave this shout out to Michelle Obama. And as I mentioned, Beyonce is a queen in her own right, doing her thing. And I, talked a little bit about her brilliance and her genius and her hard work and her contributions to our world. So we're going to call it a night on Political Soul Food. I appreciate all of y'all coming by. To show support, you can check out my Patreon page, patreon.com/Kassan Henry, or check out paypal.me/Kassan Henry. I'm up here during the week trying to offer food for thought, all right, to keep us on our game. Because when you do your thing, you make this place a much better place, even for me. So I'm doing this out of my own selfishness. I want you to do your thing. I want you to blow up. I want you to get your education. I want you to be in peace. I want you to be healthy. I want Obamacare to do its thing. I want healthcare to get better. I want all my peoples to do their thing out here and live good so that we can have a better community. Because everything you see around us, everything we know, didn't come from one person or one place in time. These are all the results of contributions over the years. Many of these contributions have been stolen from certain places, but once we can get out of that mindset, that we'll see that we can all benefit. All right, and so that's why I'm really working hard for y'all to stay involved in politics, to keep motivating you, because I end up motivating myself, and I know with all of y'all on the battleground, we'll make this world great for once. All right, y'all. So thanks for tuning in to Political Soul Food tonight. It was great being here once again. And you know what? We got a little time. So if y'all want to, you can chime in. If you got something you want to say about Michelle Obama, the Political Soul Food number is 202-505-0250. 202-505-0250. So I'll hold out on a few minutes if somebody wants to call in and drop something about Michelle Obama. Feel free. All right. So wait a minute, Asia, she said yes, I finished the book in December. If you don't have time to pick it up, it's on Audible. Listen to her book. Asia ain't playing, y'all. She's like, read the book, Kassan. Read the book for sure. And Audible, and I got a lot of audiobooks, like Amazon. I got like a lot of my Amazon Kindle books, and I got a bunch of audiobooks. So that's a way to go as well. But I'm definitely gonna be up in this more and more. All right. So listen, we're gonna check out for the night. I wish y'all the best, and I'll see y'all soon. Stay in touch with Political Soul Food. And check out my YouTube page before I go. Check out my YouTube page. Subscribe, right? I'm trying to get those subscriptions up so I can go live on YouTube again. They just flipped the script on us, trying to, everybody trying to hustle and get out there. And so like these videos so I can get some more pull, because that's how these social media platform works. All right, y'all. Peace out. Have a great night. Be you and do you. Over and out.